An internal review of the state's registry of motor vehicles has caused the suspension of 500 Massachusetts driver's licenses within the last week. I'm Dave Mattson.
And I'm Beth Ward. The suspensions come as major missteps within the organization are revealed at a press conference today. Missteps that led to a deadly crash in New Hampshire, killing 7 motorcyclists. West Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us in the studio with more on how the RMV plans to fix it. Audrey?
Dave and Beth, by this point, the RMV has already acknowledged that Vladimir Zhukovsky's out-of-state drunk driving charge should have prevented him from driving the day 7 people were killed in New Hampshire. But today, they had to admit that more out-of-state violations for other commercial and regular drivers went untouched in their offices for months.
For the last 5 days, a team of people has been working nearly literally around the clock to go through those documents.
Registry of Motor Vehicle officials admitting 300 out-of-state violations against Massachusetts commercial drivers were allowed to pile up after being kicked out of their automated system. None of them sparked a CDL license suspension. But it was found that a similar problem was happening with paper out-of-state violations against regular drivers, sparking the suspension of 500 licenses in the last week.
Like with the commercial driver's license, we've reviewed our processes, we've changed our processes, we've assigned specific employees the task of handling each day's mail.
Earlier in the day, Governor Charlie Baker explained to Western Mass News that Massachusetts' inability to manually review violations from out of state was the Bay State's responsibility alone.
There was a breakdown in the RMV's ability to collect information from Connecticut that would have denied the license of that driver. Just makes this thing worse. It was a fail on the part of the registry.
Later at a press conference, he reiterated that Connecticut holds no blame in the failure to suspend the license of 23-year-old Vladimir Zhukovsky of West Springfield, who's now behind bars in New Hampshire.
And that's why we want to bring in an outside party to conduct that audit for us.
Baker says the independent review will be complete in around 60 days. Meanwhile, Congressman Richard Neal says this crash should be a warning for transportation officials across the country.
I think that the Department of Transportation at the federal level should also take note of the fact that people that have been arrested repeatedly for driving while under the influence should not be back behind the wheel of an automobile.
The RMV is undertaking the process to review all 5.2 million Massachusetts driver's licenses. RMV officials also say that they've recoded their automated systems to allow fewer out-of-state violations to be kicked back and designated for manual review. Reporting live in studio, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.